nobody if you ain't got haters. Vanessa with the bullshit. You playing with your paper. Okay. Your situation hectic. Yes. How the fuck could you chase it? Treat these bitches like candy. See them now, see them later.
Alright, what's good? YouTube. You already know what to do. We're gonna jump straight into it. So I don't know the year exactly. Me and my gloves too. Of this Audi. I think it's the 2008 Audi A8. It's definitely the A8, but I don't know if it's an 8 or 9 or 2007, whatever. The ones with the 4.2 V8 engine. So I never really had to work on these this type of engine. Maybe I dodged the timing belt on this before. I would have loved to have do a timing belt on this. I'm aware you got to pull off the front end. Okay, so like I said, never really had to work on much. Maybe a few things to tune up, intake manifold, couple coolant leaks. But for the most part, the biggest thing I ever had to do on this model was putting in an AC compressor. So putting in an AC compressor is a pain in the ass. It's not belt driven, it's driven off of some weird shaft that comes off of some type of input thing off of the, I don't know if it's looked like it's the engine side, and it just spins it. So it doesn't run on a serpentine belt. It got its own little spinning capabilities and shit. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a pain in the ass to get to because you got to remove a few things, such as like there's a pipe right here. I'm gonna show you guys in a second though. But this pipe that runs from both banks right here look like some type of crossover coolant pipe. I removed the cross member that was right here. I'm gonna like maneuver around different camera angles, but let me tell y'all real quick. The subframe right here, this part stays in. You don't have to take that off. I thought you had to take it off, so I ended up removing the lower control arms. No, I didn't have to because I thought the subframe was all pieced together. Really, it was one piece, comes off on its own, and that's just the cross member that goes from here to here, the one that holds the sway link, and it holds the mount. But the real reason you gotta remove a bunch of things because there's an engine mount right here, this mount that covers, like the AC sits in the back of it, this sits in the front of it, and because of this stupid mount right here, and the dipstick too, engine dipstick too for the engine, because of those two things, you can't get your AC compressor out. Trust me, just believe me. I even looked it up. A guy talking about he did it in an hour. I'm trying to figure out what Audi you worked on, bro, because you ain't do that shit in an hour. It's gonna take you a while, especially if you're doing this in your driveway or something like that. But like I said, give me a minute. I'm gonna take it off the tripod and I'm gonna rotate it around and show you a few things or whatever. So like I said, I had to take off those two things, take off the mount, but you gotta take off the subframe because, piece of the subframe, because the mount sits on the fucking, the cross member subframe thing or whatever. So you get those two out, you can maneuver it real good. You do gotta remove the thermostat housing right here. It's a little plastic housing thing. I just took off the half side of it, took off a couple hoses, lower radiator hose, another hose that ran right up here in the front, a couple wire connectors, and then you pretty much in there like swimwear. So let me go ahead and take it off of the tripod and let me show y'all what I got going on now. So cross member right there, and like I said, mind you, don't worry about the lower control arms because you did not need to remove that because they mount up on this part of the subframe. So leave those in there, but just take off this cross member. And mind you, I said it's two engine mounts. It's four on this engine, but the one in the front, 1, 2. I left those hanging in the car right there. As you can see, got one, and then actually the other one is on the ground because I said this was the reason why I couldn't get the AC compressor out, because that mount with the bracket. And then there was a dipstick, which is the dipstick right there, that goes directly right up in here where I'm tapping right here. So the dipstick tube goes across here, and then a mount bracket covers the part of the AC compressor. And yeah, it's a pain in the ass because of those two. You got to take all that shit out just to get the compressor out. So once you get everything out though, and you're ready to maneuver it out, it is a pain in the ass because it's just tight space. But just cock it one way, angle it, and shove it in there, and you Gucci. So if you can see this shaft right here, that's the shaft I was telling you about. I guess it goes inside of the engine block or whatever rotates in there. I ain't no Audi specialist. I just know this spins the compressor. That's why I said it's not belt driven. It's some type of shaft driven shit, bullshit, whatever. I don't know, but it's based off of some type of engine component spinning. So whatever. These two just on both together. I'm trying to show y'all the front of the pump. See how I said it ain't belt driven, so it's nothing in the front. Just to confirm it. This belt is pretty chewed up. I'm trying to get that, get a new one in there. I want to recommend that. But the crossover pipe right there, if you can see that on the ground. This runs between right here. See the gasket right there, and then there's another one up in there. So it just runs on both sides of the engine, both banks pretty much. And here's the water pump. It's not, I think it's a water pump assembly. It is a water pump assembly because there's some type of shaft. If you're an Audi expert, you can correct me on this. I won't be mad, but there's a shaft. The other piece of it is stuck in the side of the, not stuck in it, but it comes out. It's on the engine side of it. But it spins this and got your water circulation right there. So that got to come out. There's a gasket in here too. This one looked like I may could use it again. If it looks too flat, looks out of shape, definitely get that replaced. I'm trying to figure out what else you had to remove, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I got the wheels off. That's common sense and shit. So pretty much what I wanted to tell you guys, show you guys what I did to get this AC compressor out. Here's the old one, of course. So you're doing this in your driveway, don't do it in your driveway. Just take it to a damn shop. You can't afford it. Just this job is a pain in the ass. Just regardless who does it. Just I don't recommend this to anybody, but I'm the one who did it, so I guess I get to tell a story about it. So that's all I got to talk about. Hit the like button, make sure you guys subscribe and all that good shit, and I'll holler at y'all next vid.